Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make a crock pot pork loin. We all have those days to where we know we're going to be super busy. We know we have a lot going on. We just don't have a whole lot of time to cook. So honestly, the crock pot is my best friend. Being a busy mom, working full time, and just being on the go all the time, I love my crock pot. So today we're going to make a crock pot pork loin. So to start with, we're going to need 3 to 4 pounds of pork loin, preferably a boneless, skinless pork loin, but if you can only find one with a bone in, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. You can still do it. We're going to need 1 onion, preferably a sweeter type onion, a yellow onion or a Vidalia onion will probably work best for this. And then we're also going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of garlic salt, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of paprika, and then 2 cups of chicken broth. So that's all of our list of our ingredients for today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the first thing you wanna do is we're going to spray the bottom and the sides of our crock pot with some cooking spray, just so we don't have our roast and everything just stick to the crock pot and then it makes cleanup just horrible at the end of the day. All right, so give that a good spray with your cooking spray. And then we're gonna take our onion and we're gonna slice it into rounds. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the ends of this onion off. And get all that skin off of it from all the way around. Ooh. I think I need to sharpen my knives. Let's get this skin all peeled off of these onions here. And I kind of like to take this outer layer off, so I'll just run my knife along it just to get a little bit of a cut into it. And then I'll just peel the one outer layer of skin off. All right, once you have that done, you have your onion all peeled. We're going to cut it into rounds. So we're just gonna slice it real thin. Hold your fingers back. Hold that onion real still. And just try to slice your rounds as even as possible. You don't have to be perfect. Here's the tricky part, the end of the onion. We're gonna take this little outer piece off because I like how it looks. So then you're gonna take all of your rounds and you're gonna put them in the bottom of your crock pot. Just spread them out. Don't have to break them apart. Nothing complicated, nothing fancy. We're just gonna lay these all across the bottom of your crock pot. All right, I'll show you guys kind of how that looks. So they're just kind of nice and even in the bottom of the crock pot. And then we are going to lay our pork loin on top of our onions, the fat side down. So there's always one side of the pork loin that has way more fat on it than the other side. And so we have this side with no fat, side with fat. This is the side that you're going to want to put on top of those onions. So we're going to lay that on top in our crock pot. Okay. Then we're going to take our couple tablespoons of olive oil, or just kind of eyeballing it, and we're going to pour that across the top of our pork loin. Okay. Looks like a couple tablespoons there. And we're just going to kind of rub it in just a little bit. Get it kind of down the sides of that pork loin. All right, see? All beautiful, coated in oil. Okay, I'm gonna wash this oil off. All right, so then we need to mix our seasonings all together. Pull this just a little bit. All right, so after you've drizzled your oil, you got your pork loin in there, I like to mix my seasonings all together and versus sprinkling them across the top, just so that way I know that I am getting an even coating on my pork loin and I don't have like pepper on one side and paprika on the other and those sort of things. So we need a teaspoon of onion powder. I can pop this little lid off. A teaspoon of onion powder. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Teaspoon of black pepper. Ooh, got a little extra there. Teaspoon of salt. Okay, and then you only want half of a teaspoon of paprika, unless you like it extra spicy, and then you can always add a little bit more. But I'm not a big spice. I just like the flavor and a little bit of heat that it brings to it. I don't want to have my mouth on fire. Okay, so then I'm going to give this a quick little stir. Just get all of those spices kind of mixed together. All right, so then we're going to sprinkle this across the top of your pork loin, and you want to get it, I mean, you want to season. Don't be afraid of seasoning. A lot of it's going to cook, and so you just want a pretty good little layer. And I try to rub it on the sides a little bit instead of just the top. And kind of rub it in there with your fingers a little bit and get it pushed into that meat. Make sure you have a good layer. Okay. So this is what your pork loin is going to look like in there, all ready to go. And so to this, we are going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. You can use vegetable broth, you can use beef broth, you can use kind of whatever you have in the pantry. We're just going to pour that in. I had chicken broth in the fridge, so that's what I'm using. Okay, then we're just going to put our lid on our crock pot. We're going to put it on low for 6 hours. So after that 6 hours, we're going to crank it up to high, and then we'll let it finish cooking. And when you get in at night, after a long day at work, voila, it's been cooking all day. It's good to go. You have dinner. I'm also going to make, tonight, I will make some roasted potatoes and probably some green beans to go with this. And those both take about 10 minutes to make. So easy peasy, full, balanced meal, ready to go. All right, we'll see you guys in 6 hours. All right, so our pork loin has been cooking on low for 6 hours, and then at that 6 hour point, I did turn it up to high. If you're at work all day and you're not able to make it home 2 hours or an hour before dinner to turn it up on high, no big deal. It's still gonna be cooked all the way through. So we're gonna take a look at this. Oh my gosh, it's looking so good. All right, I'll show you guys what I'm seeing here. Look how amazing that's looking. All right, so we're gonna check it. I'm gonna kind of just show you what we're looking at here. Like, I can use a fork to pull that apart. Look how amazing that pork loin looks. I'm gonna take a little bit off right here and just try it. Oh my gosh, look how juicy. Oh my goodness. All right, let me grab a little plate here. We're gonna cover this back up and turn it down on to keep warm until the hubby and the boys get home. But I am gonna sample this real fast. It is so tender. Look at this. I am literally pulling it apart with a fork. There's no knife needed. Okay, I'm gonna try. Oh my gosh. You can taste the onions and you can taste the seasoning. I'm really surprised that you can taste the onions all the way through the meat. But you can taste it top to bottom. And it's not dry. And you can taste the seasoning too. Oh my goodness. That's good. All right, that is my Crockpot roast dinner for our main course. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna make some roasted potatoes and some green beans to go with this tonight. Let me know. Leave me a little comment if you guys want my roasted potato recipe or you want a how-to video on how to make the potatoes. Just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, so you don't miss a beat. I'll see you guys next time.